Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video, and if it's your first time here, welcome. Now, there's only one thing that's frowned upon on YouTube more than reacting to a video without crediting the original video, and that is DMCA abuse. And unfortunately, right now, it's something that a lot of content creators are actually having to deal with on a daily basis. I've had my rodeo with the DMCA system literally a month ago, when Laniatus Games, the creators of Masters to Magic to Master, that was actually just a Met2 private server, decided that they didn't like what I had to say about their game, and yeah, they decided to file a DMCA strike against that video, which, in their own words, they didn't know what a DMCA strike was, despite having to read through the legal agreement, agree to each segment of it when filing it, and then press the, legally binding, I agree, basically. So, that was my rodeo, but today we're looking at someone else's rodeo with the DMCA system, also their first time. Now, this is, of course, Jorn, a smaller YouTuber that creates similar content to me, except looking exclusively at crappy crypto games, right? And just lazy games in general, lazy developers, and just cash grabs. Now, the video that Jorn made was on a game, and there's a reason I'm air quotating here. It was called I'm Looking for 3,024 People. Now, despite this being on Steam listed as a game, it's got a slightly confusing backstory. It is in fact not a game. It is an ARG, an alternate reality game. Now, these are things such as the Cicada mystery that was on 4chan that led people think it was a CIA hiring operation. For whoever could solve it. So an ARG is where you solve a puzzle that takes place online and in the real physical world. It may have people going to locations around the globe to try and find things buried at coordinates and all that. They're quite cool, they're fun. So there's no problem with this being an ARG. Where it starts to get a bit dodgy is originally, to access this ARG game, you had to have an NFT to take part in it. And you could just download this game off their website once you had the NFT. But then they realized that the backlash was a bit too much for having an NFT game. I imagine that's why they changed this. And then they were like, well, we'll have to do it through somewhere else. We'll have to do it through Steam. Now, to do it through Steam, you need to upload an actual game. That something has to be uploaded so someone can buy it, right? An exchange, a transaction. Now, the issue they had is nobody was going to pay £50. You know, some idiots may pay £50 for an NFT, but they're not going to pay £50 for what we're about to talk about, which is nothing. The game consisted of a black screen with some really badly put together AI voiceovers. I'm going to play some clips of that now.
What key is this?
I don't know. You may need it. Take it with you.
What? You're leading me on. But you don't know what you're doing.
Just take the key with you.
I already got it. In my hand. Okay, I came.
Are you sure?
I came by just counting 10 steps. What's this? Is it a door? I think I came right. I have no choice but to open the door. Okay, you son of a bitch. Do you want me to play this game? I will.
And it was essentially a 30-minute game of looking at a black screen. Because what you're told to do once you download this game is go to the Discord, go to their website. And that's where all of the information that's needed for this ARG is. It's just there online. So that, of course, begs the question, why do we need the game at all? Like, why do we need to buy the thing on Steam? And that's a good point. And this is what Jorn was covering. The fact you don't actually need the game means that the game is nothing. It's a black screen. You're paying, at the time, $30 for a black screen simulator. Jorn pointed this out, and the price has been dropped lower and lower and lower, literally 2 or 3 times a day at this point. They are scrambling to get anyone to buy this at all. The cold reality of this is no one wants to buy a 100 megabyte game that they could just not, right? Well, Jorn basically covered all that the game had to cover. A black screen. That's it. And Bakodun, I nearly said Bakugan, they were actually cool back in the days. If you know what they are, leave a comment. But Bakodun Game Studios, which this is their first game, and again, they're doing this whole high and mighty, I'm a big game developer, you better not annoy me. They're not. They're nobodies, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. A lot of us start as nobodies doing things, but don't pretend you're not a nobody when you are, plain and simple. So they have a trailer that shows all of the interactive stuff on the website and the Discord, because there is no in-game footage. So the trailer that you view as a consumer to base your purchase on, whether you're going to buy this game or not, is nothing to do with the game and is completely free. So, yeah, confusion there, I guess. But where this started to get weird is John got an email along with a DMCA strike on his video. Now, John's video is currently offline, but I watched it before it was taken down, and I rewatched it in an offline copy that he sent me. The interesting thing here is there is nothing in there that isn't fair use. He shows a bit of gameplay footage, which again is an EXE with a black screen. And I do not mean that jokingly. Quite literally, an EXE with a black screen. He also looks at the Kickstarter page, and he looks at some of the things they've done before, which was nothing. He also looks at the pricing history of this game and the forums. So there's nothing there that is considered theft, which, to clarify, the DMCA system is there to protect people's digital copyright. It's the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. So what is this here to protect? If I illegally upload something like music, they can take it down. The owners can. That's fine. If I steal one of John's videos in its entirety without any editing and I just re-upload it, he can copyright strike me for that. That is his stuff. If I upload the entire 8 seasons of Game of Thrones to my YouTube, they can copyright strike me for that. They are well within their rights. HBO can totally do that. But what you cannot copyright strike for is because your feels got hurt. And that is exactly what this company have done, as we can see in their email, which I'm about to read for you. Hi John, this is Aisha from Bakodun Game Studios. I am responsible for the general communication of the studio. It is my responsibility to forward the message below to you. When we look at your YouTube content, we do not take the content you make for I'm looking for 3,024 people personally, but we had to request removal, even if we didn't want to, because the user gave false information. We say we didn't want it because, contrary to what you might think, we were able to get more interaction and sales thanks to your video. We can call it the Streisand effect. And oh my god, are they going to learn about the Streisand effect with how much this is going to blow up in their face. This was a situation we made a difficult decision as a team because your video arouses people's curiosity and then they try the game. That is why we requested to move your video without getting a warning from YouTube, and we gave you 7 days. Basically saying, how do you want to be dicked down? Like, do you want us to dick you in 7 days, or you just want to dick yourself now? Because you're going to lose the revenue, you're going to lose the video, but how do you want to do it? You know, if Matt Mercer comes bursting out of the DMCA tent, how do you want to approach this? The next bit is pure copium. So that there is them admitting, by the way, that they saw the big "someone stole my stuff" button, got a Sharpie and just wrote "my feels got hurt" over it and just slapped that bad boy. They're admitting to an actual crime. Just to clarify this, when you file a DMCA strike, you are saying under penalty of perjury that this person has stolen your digital work, which provably he has not, because they've just said he hasn't. Fantastic. If we were wrong about the DMCA, YouTube wouldn't allow it. In this process, they approved by asking us for trademark registration information. They don't ask why we demand this, they just want our trademark registration information. John, in his own video that he put out about an hour before I recorded this, he's hit the nail on the head. This is the biggest amount of copium I have ever seen in an email. That's saying, I committed a crime and no one came and told me that I was wrong for committing a crime, so therefore I didn't commit a crime. It's like the whole, if a tree falls in a forest and no one sees it, did the tree even really fall? Like, if I pissed in your cereal while you were turned away, did I really piss in your cereal? It's insane to me that this is a way they can rationalise their actions. It's like saying, I unplugged my nan's life support machine, which is a good job because she died 2 hours later. It's just lining up what you want people to believe in a way that makes them believe that. Or in a way that makes you believe your own bullshit, to be quite honest. We think that we will not encounter content that does not reflect any other truth made by you or helped by you in future on any platform. I don't even know what that means. I've tried to wrap my head around it a few times. Makes no sense. Let's move on. If this continues, we will have to protect our brand and we will resort to legal means. No, you will not, because what you've done here is stupid. And I need to make this really clear for anyone who ever plans on using and abusing the DMCA system. You may think that by abusing the DMCA system, you've come out on top by removing a video that hurt your feels, you know, that made you walk away with your winky tucked between your legs. No. What you've actually done is you've entered into a legally binding agreement that if the person that you have DMCA struck counterclaims, that you by law will take them to court within 30 days for digital theft. Let me clarify that. Not for whatever you think, for my feels were hurt, for misinformation or for defamation. You take them to court for digital theft. You are the one then who is backed into a corner because what you have filed for will not go through in court. You have filed for theft, which is provably untrue, meaning that case would never go in your favour, meaning you would have to foot some huge legal fees for nothing. So it's either put up or shut up. And unfortunately, you as a company who have lied already and admitted to lying before the court case even happens, you've shot yourself in the foot. Big time. You've already lost. So the case that you file probably wouldn't even be taken into court because there's admittance of you lying. Great, well done. We have a larger community that already owns the game, plays and shares game-related posts with each other, and has no issues with the game. That's great. Some people are going to fall for this cash grab because they don't see videos like mine, don't see videos like Jorn's or Sid Alpha's. That's why we make these videos. So people who see your trailer and think, oh, that looks like a cool game, then buys it and realizes it's nothing to do with the trailer, won't end up doing that. We would like to point out that this game is HAD eligible to be released after passing the approval periods from all 3 stores. The process for each store took at least 1 month in case of privacy violation. The game would not have been released anyway. In case of a privacy violation, the game would not have been released anyway. We all know how awful the vetting process is on all 3 of these platforms. Steam, Epic Games, itch.io, I think was the 3rd one they used. I don't even know. Or the Microsoft Store. We know how bad these processes are. They're not good. Look at the crap that just gets pushed through. And then, again, Jorn has perfectly stated this in his video. Their punishment system for uploading dodgy stuff is reactive, not proactive. They can't check every game. But what they can do is make an example of you when you do shitty things. And that is what they do. They solve it after. This is, again, another case of, well, if I've committed a crime and no one came and told me it was a crime, then I didn't commit a crime. You need to understand how stupid you sound as an individual. Because, again, I can guarantee this company full of developers is just one person. Because all the communication stinks of like a 6-year-old walking around with his fingers in his ears, just going la, 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 not listening. I don't believe that there's 7 different people on the team that all act that way, that are that irresponsible, but whatever. But yeah, this is basically a load of nonsense, and honestly, it's just headache-inducing. Their forums have become an absolute mess. And by the way, they made a post on the forums of them, again, admitting to doing this. Actually, we didn't want the videos to be removed, because the video arouses people's curiosity and direct them to the game. Even if this is against us, these videos did not affect us maliciously. We can call it the Streisand effect, but because they spread distorted information, we decided to prevent it. Again, admitting to abusing the system and breaking the law. If you read the game description and videos other than these videos, you will see what we do. You will see that we do not provide incomplete information. If it was a DMCA violation, YouTube wouldn't approve it anyway. You said you didn't file for DMCA, but now you're saying YouTube have decided on your behalf that it's a DMCA? I am so confused by what story you're trying to spin here. It is nuts. And then there's something they bring up in the emails and in other comments about people seem to be hung up on the Discord puzzle. Because yes, most of the game is a Discord puzzle, where you've got these little pins that slide, and it's a There's someone sat in VC streaming permanently this game, and it's a bot. So when you put commands in the chat, say like 1 through to 8 or letters, it moves pins on this lock. You're basically lock picking, right? It's like a Flappy Bird lock picking game that requires all 3,024 people to be throwing commands in at the same time. Now, the problem with that everyone has pointed out is that a Discord bot cannot respond to all of them within 5 seconds, meaning that the puzzle is physically impossible, even if fully coordinated. API limits do not... That exceeds API limits for a minute in under 2 seconds. So no, it's not going to work. That's plain and simple. But yeah, to be honest, that's where the story kind of ends right now. There's not much more to it. John has filed a counter notice, which is great. I would advise anyone to do that. Always do your part in fighting your own claim. You know, don't just roll over and let them take the W. But essentially, yeah, that's what we have right now. And I hope to hear off John soon that this has all been revoked and that they have been fairly and squarely slammed into the ground. If you guys haven't, go subscribe to John. His content's fantastic. Like I say, very similar to mine. And as always, a massive thank you to the patrons. And until next time, take care.